Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with an exciting update here in regards to Shadow King on how he is going to be likely the next legendary coming into the game. And remember, you need both Annihilators and Illuminati for this. Now, huge and massive shout out to Boilon, making news of this, but as well, he has an internal source that is essentially all but confirmed now. So I wanted to circulate this to you guys because I understand that not everyone watches the same content creator, but I'm going to link his video below, guys. Amazing resource, and Boilon's track record and history. We've seen his details released for Siege Battle World, which is yet to be officially confirmed, but we've seen his information that he circulated with past things such as the ORCHIS raids, when T3 ISO 8 Purple was not fully released yet. And as well, even characters like Hitmonkey that hasn't officially been confirmed, but then were included in the poll later on. So, I mean, his track record is just astounding, guys. Definitely put your confidence in him every time he has any kind of information or update, because he seems to have a really reliable resource, and every time there is information that's new. I love the fact that he brings this to the public as soon as possible. And for those like myself being free to play, it's great to anticipate and see what's upcoming. So I'll link everything below, guys. Make sure you check out his video because he does break down even some of the newer characters that are likely going to get added as part of this team. But for today's video, I just want to circulate this, guys, because there's some references that I want to point to that does add value in terms of, supporting the statement that Shadow King is going to be the next legendary character, as well. Kind of the little hints and teasers that we've seen along the way. He mentions this Minds of Magneto Age of X story arc, and this wasn't another video, but I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention for those of you that aren't really sure what he's referring to. In the Mind of Magneto event that was out, I believe it was a month or so ago, there's always some important dialogue that they add in, right? This is actually how we caught wind of Null also coming into the game. Well, it was very interesting with this dialogue here, so I do want to point this out for you guys, and that's why it's very, now that we're going back in retrospect and reviewing it, does seem a little bit obvious now that it's Shadow King. So this conversation here is actually between, I believe, Magneto and Jean. And I think there was another character here as well, but I'm just gonna read through real quick, and I'll point out the references here, right? I shall destroy you, and we will achieve our destiny, the complete extinction of humanity. So obviously those references to the Age of X, mutants versus humans. I said I do not value hatred, but that doesn't mean I don't sometimes indulge in it. Humanity has done so much, taken so much. My darkest fear is that I forgo my soul in exchange, that I become no better than them. Now, how do you find what you seek? Can we be gone from this place? You said when focusing on the name Charles, you felt something else. Can you feel that again? So I think this is Eric talking to Jean, and her actually going back and actually checking out Charles' mind, and it felt something else, as in this could be pointing out some hints, obvious, to where Xavier has been, why he's not in Marvel Strike Force, right? I feel not just frustration, but kinship, respect, and beyond that, love. Wait, there, I found it. It's, so something seems to have been attacking Jean when she tried to, use her telekinesis and try to, understand what was going on with the psychology there. Jeannie, what do you see? Whoever altered your mind, Eric, your helmet must have made it more difficult than expected, which is, very popular, obviously, in the lore. We know that with Magneto's helmet that he has, it's meant to shield, psychic powers from accessing his mind, right? They accidentally left a sign of their meddling where your memories of Charles were. A looming darkness, a great powerful void, almost a shadow. So, in my honest opinion, guys, this specific event, Mind of Magneto with the dialogue, and us now getting an inside source that has given this information to Boilon, it's all but confirmed at this point. The next legendary character is going to be Shadow King, and it's just a matter of when he's going to get released, right? Which I think is going to be very soon, especially given that Old Man Logan's has returned for a third time. And typically after that, usually they try to turn things over with a new event. So again, in case you guys are wondering, this is all in Boilon's video, but Shadow King, he is going to be part of a new Battle World team, and it makes sense because we know that timing's coming up. We're starting October here pretty shortly. We know Siege Battle World was hinted from the community manager to be in October. That's what slipped out, but it could be very well early November too if there's any delays. But this is going to be a mutant trait team, and once again, I just want to iterate that you do need both Annihilator and Illuminati characters if you want to go deeper on the higher level stars for these characters. Having said that, I hope they keep the method where we saw with Old Man Logan, where we can actually unlock him by increasing the difficulty, but only finishing the first node. So If you want higher star levels of Shadow King, you likely will need Annihilator and Illuminati built up. Hence why I think we're seeing the slow drip of all these character shards coming out, because they want to time that accordingly. And especially with Thanos Endgame's event starting tomorrow, this is a perfect timing where they've essentially wrapped up all the releases now, which then basically means that the legendary event is coming very, very soon. And especially now that we got this source that Shadow King is the legendary. I also want to point out, it makes total sense because of his tie-in to Xavier, as well as, you know, what he's done to manipulate Xavier. And this is why he has been away from the game. And they're trying to add a narrative to this, right? When they announced originally that Xavier was going to be Dark Dimension 8, they said it would make sense of why he has not been included in the game. Well, for that reason, it makes sense now, because if Shadow King has had manipulation and obviously power over Xavier, trapping him somewhere on some astral plane, which is, you know, from the comic lore here of where he kind of resides, that totally makes sense of why he's been away and why he's coming now into the game with the introduction of obviously himself, but Xavier right around the corner as well. So, the last thing here is just to speculate really what the potential villain mutant characters are going to get included on in this team, because this is where they're kind of traded right now, and they're going to be a villain mutant team. Could they be part of a new raid in the future if they are coming in as mutants? It's possible, but I believe Extreme X-Men still has a bit of shelf life left in terms of that expectation. But yeah, usually, you know, the raid teams are turning over quite quickly compared to any other team in the game, so something to be mindful of there. And what's interesting here is there is actually quite a large mixture of villain mutant characters. Now, mind you, a few of them are obviously part of the old DevC team, so I definitely, you know, can't see those characters being as likely. But characters that have not been touched on in quite some time include Emma Frost, Madeline Pryor. Magneto was touched on with DevC, but because of that reference to the mind of Magneto, it does give us a little bit of nod there that there is very strong possibility that Magneto is likely also going to get a touch up. Especially since we know that his mind was, you know, there was some residual effect left from Shadow King on Magneto, and then we had that mind of Magneto and also the tie-in to Charles Xavier. I definitely think it's possible in the future. Anywho, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, definitely exciting times. It's great to get this confirmation finally, so to speak, from that inside source. But yeah, be on the lookout for this update. I'm sure now that this information has kind of surfaced to the public, I'm sure they're probably going to have a bit of pressure to announce this sooner rather than later now. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. We'll be in touch, and as well, more data mines coming up this week with the patches that come. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you for your time as always, and again, I'll link everything on Boilan's channel below if you guys want to check it out. Definitely would recommend. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.